On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island.
Is that how much
and that
smoke?
they were trapped.
Yeah, wow.
I thought I was watching a movie, Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled, because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer.
And the stuff that makes you restore faith in humanity. It reminds me of like this Mr. Rogers quote, which I'm probably gonna butcher, another person that I've recently discovered, where he was like, I do not know much about what happened during 9/11. I wasn't really taught it like that in school. Like, I wasn't alive when this was happening. All I remember is hearing about stories of it and seeing seeing the general gist of it, but I've never actually sat down and checked out some of these stories. And a lot of you guys wanted me to check out what happened after the 9/11 attacks, or at least learn more about the whole BOATLIFT story, because apparently this was the largest waterborne evacuation in history, larger even than Dunkirk. I didn't even know what Dunkirk is. See, look, if you know me on this channel, I've got a very curious mind, and I put myself in the limelight where I basically expose myself to so many people watching of just how ignorant I am to a lot of these things, and I basically learn it in real time with a lot of you guys watching. So look, if that interests you guys, then I'll definitely consider subscribing and joining me on this journey of curiosity and wisdom. But yeah, I'm really interested to check this one out. Of course, guys, look, for those of you guys that aren't aware, I'm doing some bonus content on the Patreon. So if you want to support the channel and you love my kind of content, consider checking out the Patreon. Got movie reactions, album reviews, sitcom watch parties, as well as all the videos that I cannot post on here. For those of you guys that have been keeping up with my channel know that, you know, certain platforms are getting a bit more sensitive these days. So I don't want to, a lot of videos that I cannot post on here will be going on there. And the link to the Patreon will be in the description. But yeah, guys, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video as well, and please let me know what other things you guys want me to check out, because I'll be so curious to find out more about these events that happened before I was born. But look, with that being said, let's get straight into this video. Let's go. A hero is a man who does what he can. Okay, that's a quote. Here is a man, yeah.
I thought I was watching a movie, Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled, because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch.
No, like already this is giving me goosebumps, because when I first saw that reaction I did to 9, like what actually happened, I genuinely wasn't, it didn't look real. It looked so crazy, and I've never seen anything like that in my life, that I genuinely didn't, like, it didn't register in my head that this actually happened in real life. It's crazy. This is like crazy.
I thought I was watching a movie, Towering Inferno at first. And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled, because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed when I was watching the television, I saw a lot of, you know, the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. I could take people on my boat.
Oh, wow.
Get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
Okay, so he was someone that volunteered. Just for context, Manhattan, where it happened, it's an island. Like, this happened on an island. I didn't even realize it was an island. I thought New York was just a whole. Again, this is what I'm showing. Like, I didn't even know that. I'm looking at a map of New York, Manhattan right now, and it does look as if, yeah, it's an island. It's water that surrounds the whole thing. Yeah, even here. That's wild to me. I didn't even know that. I was thinking it was all connected. Crazy. Wow, I just learned that today. That's insane.
Get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
Wow. Yeah, man.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety. Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island.
Is that how much
and that
smoke?
they were trapped.
Yeah, wow.
They were feeling helpless. And that's the worst feeling in the world. What was a person on the ground gonna do? Buildings were down. There were people laying under the rubble of the building. Firemen, civilians. My wife was there, and I turned around, I says, I've got to go do something. Just like that. She looked at me, she says, what are you gonna do, you maniac? I says, I'm gonna take the amberjack up into the city and help. She says, but what if they're attacked again? I says, well, then that's something I have to live with.
Yes.
I says, I have to do what I have to do. I says, and nobody can stop me right now.
Wow.
Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
Oh, this is so steep, man. Even just I can imagine just how terrified everyone would be. I didn't even realize it happened 4 times. I only saw 2 in the video that I watched, but apparently it happened towards the Pentagon, and then another one to the White House or something like that. I could be butchering it, but yeah, man, like I didn't even feel like I'm grasping just how deep it was, because that's insane. And I didn't even realize they were stuck on the island, because all of that debris that would have been going around, and apparently a lot of people were, from that smoke as well. I'm trying to be careful on YouTube. So it's just insane the more context I'm getting to even think about.
That will suffer and die.
I can't, like, this is mad.
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You didn't know if something else was going to happen. It was just a madness on one side and wanting to help people on the other side.
They were just streaming out of the buildings, and the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. And that's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here. So they didn't even care where the boat was going.
Captain of a...
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning, just volume. It wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
That's like an apocalypse looking setting right there.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it.
Oh my.
That's when we started letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
Jumping into the...
These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go over there.
People were jumping into the water.
Every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats.
They closed?
Usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds.
Why would they have closed? What was the reason for that? Because how are people gonna get out of that if they're closing everything? I don't understand. Maybe there's definitely probably some technicalities behind that, which is why they did. But I don't know. That just sounds foreign to why they would do that. How else are people gonna get out, right?
Subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats. Usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century the only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
Just like real life footage.
The process actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people, that people were lined up at the walls. On the left, on the left, on the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these 2 planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed. I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat, if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Everybody has it, baby! Nobody has it!
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes,
Yo, what? Let me hear that again.
There was one guy ran from the apron.
He
jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life.
Crazy.
So, you couldn't argue with him there.
This is like surreal.
There was a small boat that was at the lower tip of Manhattan. I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on.
What? That's how many
I looked
people?
behind. They were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio. All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat New York. Anyone want to help with the evacuation of Lower Manhattan? Report to Governor's Island.
Wow. So many people on the boat that they thought is gonna flip is crazy to even think about, though.
Report to Governor's Island.
Like oh my God.
When that call came on the radio, they were coming.
I was uncertain of who was going to respond. About 15, 20 minutes later, there are just boats all across the horizon.
Wow.
Literally 100 targets converging on the lower part of Manhattan.
Amazing.
When we came out of that dust cloud, tugboats. I'd never seen so many tugboats all at once.
There was just like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there.
All different size, shapes, and forms. I mean, and they were zooming across this water.
Wow.
Ferries, private boats, party boats.
I worked on the water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast. One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
Wow. One radio call and everyone starts coming from the national. That's like hearing stuff like that it just makes, I don't know, some people that are cynical out there, but this is the kind of stuff that makes you restore faith in humanity. It reminds me of like this Mr. Rogers quote, which I'm probably going to butcher, another person that I've recently discovered, where he was like, when things happen in time of a crisis, look for the people that help. Along them lines, a lot of you guys probably know what I'm looking for here. But yeah, man, this is one of those moments where there's not only just a few people helping, it seems like the most people offering to help in this time in history, or from forever, like in terms of like a water boat or water rescue operation and all them. Like, I'm jumbling up the words here, you guys get what I'm trying to say, but wow, man, wow, it's crazy.
Hundreds of boats converged on the city, leaving the sun-bathed harbor behind them.
How much smoke was there? That's
Dead
so
ahead,
much.
the unknown.
Did it like cover the whole of Manhattan?
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It was like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, they just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us.
Do you need help? Do you need help?
At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Come on, guys. Anybody coming? Get your ass over here now. Now. Come on.
boats started hanging. Literally would take a bed sheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Some of these
looking
people
like
never been in the
zombies.
water, never been on a boat before.
Housewives, workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
Wow.
Hold my hand, come on board.
That's amazing to hear, man.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Keep on going,
No. I might break down, bro, for just hearing some of this, man. Because when you're actually deep in, not even deep, because when I'm actually deep in that, again, like it's hard for me to register that this was actually happening, and it wasn't even that long ago. Before I was born, not even long ago in general. Before I was born, this happened. People losing family members, people passing like trauma from an event like this. Like I'm not when I take a second to actually take in just how deep this is. Like yo, that just is starting to get to me, man. Because, and I can't imagine just what a lot of you guys who probably would have either been alive for this to happen, witnessed it. You can remember vividly. A lot of you guys on my last were telling me you remember exactly where you were when it's happened, which is crazy to me, but it makes sense. And it's because it's such a traumatizing event. And let alone for those of you guys that may be watching this right now who have had someone that you know personally be affected by this, whether they, you know, aren't here with us anymore, or it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, I can't imagine how this is hitting for you guys watching, let alone me checking this out for the first time. And again, rest in peace to all of those people that went. And my heart goes out to so many of you guys that are personally suffering to this day from this. And I'm even sorry if I'm bringing back memories here, man, through my curiosity. But this is, like, I genuinely didn't know this has happened, man.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a
This
welder.
is crazy.
His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold.
339,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat.
Wow.
It took less than 9 hours.
500. Less than 9 hours. Yeah, man.
I believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in. And it's in there. It'll come out. It need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried. If I do it and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have.
Wow.
If you want to do something, you do it.
No, that's powerful. Such a powerful story right here, man. To see the resilience of, you know, people coming together over something that's so tragic, unexpected, came out of nowhere. People, like, I'm sure there probably was code and conduct of the time. I don't even know if it was like it went against policy to allow this many people on a boat or whatever it was, but it seemed as if people were just willing to, do you know what, like, at the end of the day, there's people out there that are really panicking right now, and people having that conviction to try and help. Wow, man. And I feel like if there's anything to leave a video like this on, it's on like a silver lining like that. As tragic as this event was, to also see how many people that galvanized and joined together on an event like this, especially when, you know, nowadays times are so divisive. Everyone's splitting up over the littlest things and whatever ideologies or views you have. To have people come together on a moment like this and have this be not only a moment that was so tragic, but also a moment where so many people came together. Like, that is so important to be reminded of. Like, in desperate times, it does seem like people as humanity come together for the not even people risking their lives, because even you got to remember what I got to take in consideration, that people didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, you're on a boat trying to rescue people, you don't know if someone's gonna try and come on your boat and do something and endanger you now, or the people that are on your boat, do you know what I'm saying? And you don't know if anything could happen, but people still chose to to risk whatever and risk their lives to help people. And like this video is saying, this was the largest sea waterbound rescue evacuation, whatever you want to call it, in history. Bigger than Dunkirk. Didn't even remember Dunkirk. Maybe I'll learn about it in school. Probably wasn't paying that much attention during history lessons. I was more focused on, you know, things during puberty. I don't know what you want to call it, you know, people who's really focusing like that. I don't even remember what happened in my history lesson. But look, nonetheless, I'm glad that I'm going back in time to check this stuff out. And again, my heart goes out to all you guys that may be affected by this. Like, this is affecting me, and I'm not even grasping just how deep it was. I didn't even have those memories in my head. Like, fortunately, right? Like, I don't have that trauma of what life was like when this happened. I wasn't even born when this happened, so I can't. So the fact that it's hitting me seeing this, I can't imagine how much it's hitting you guys watching. Look, that's why I've made this point coming on a red heart, just to get the love down in the comments below. You know, and the heart going out to all of those who may be affected by this. What a story. I didn't know about this, and I'm glad I know about it now. And wow, man, this is just so amazing to hear this story, and it's such a tragic story, but a silver lining that came out of it. Of course, guys, look, as always, don't forget to like the video if you made this point as well. If you want to check out my reaction, my first time ever checking out 9/11, it'll be linked at the end of the video. And sorry about that. If you want to check out some more videos from me, again, I'll have a playlist linked at the end of the video as well. But as always, look, it made this point. You guys have been absolutely wonderful, and I've been your boy JayFlex, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.